Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for joining today's executive webinar session on how to maintain training records digitally for compliance. We'll be talking about 5 ways to maintain training records, and we'll be also introducing you QDMS software. QDMS is a quality, risk, audit, performance, and compliance management software. My name is Kevin Deveci, and I'm the Managing Director of Bimser International. Today, I have my colleagues with me to talk about 5 ways to maintain training records. I have Alex Kvartirov from MRAS Consulting, and we'll be learning from Alex about training records, how to maintain them, how to keep the records, how to retrieve them, to comply with ISO, and to manage quality management systems in different organizations. Also today with us, we have Sam Watt. Sam is our pre-sales software engineer, our senior staff member for pre-sales engineering. And we have Purva Desai, our pre-sales software engineer. All of my colleagues will be talking about QDMS, how it looks, how it feels, features and benefits of QDMS software system. Before we talk about the software, let's lay the foundation and let's talk about the fundamentals, 5 ways to maintain training records digitally for compliance. For this, I'd like to invite my colleague, Alex Kvartirov from MRAS Consulting, and let's learn about how to maintain training records. Alex, if you're ready, please take over the screen. I'll make you the presenter.
All right.
Let's see. All right. So you are the presenter. You should be able to share your screen. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
Looks good. Thank you.
All right. All right. I guess we're ready. Well, hello, everybody. And again, thank you very much, Kevin, for inviting me to this session on training records. Okay. And how can you maintain training records in a digital format? Of course, you can maintain them in a hard copy format, but obviously that is going to have a lot of limitations. So we'll discuss that a little later. But before I start, I just like to quickly introduce myself and my company, MRAS Consulting. I myself, I'm a certified ISO 9001 lead auditor, and I'm also the sole proprietor of MRAS Consulting. I've established MRAS Consulting in 2015 after a lengthy career as a project manager in a large aerospace company that is certified to the AS 9100 quality standard, which is the aerospace quality standard. So currently, what I do is I provide consulting services to various businesses to help them both achieve and maintain ISO certification. And back, that's just about exactly 3 years ago, I became a Bimser Solutions partner. And what I do is I help actually merge, my knowledge of ISO and the capabilities of the Bimser software tools, in particular the QDMS tool, which offers tremendous capability in helping an organization managing and dealing with the data that's associated with ISO. And what I also do is I present a number of webinars and lectures on various ISO topics. Now, what I'm going to talk about is really, I'm going to start with the ISO requirements for training, but the presentation is really not necessarily geared to an organization that is strictly ISO certified. If you're not ISO certified and you're not contemplating getting ISO certification, this certainly would apply, because training records is an important part of managing the organization. But a very brief introduction about what ISO requires as far as training and that appears in clause 7 under the support paragraph. And really, they don't really use the word training. They're using the word competence, okay? So paragraph 7.2 titled competence, and then it has a number of subparagraphs, okay? So the point is that you, as an organization, have to maintain control of the performance and effectiveness of your organization. And also, it says here, 7.2b, to monitor and maintain competence by providing training, education, and so on. Okay, so here the word training appears. And also, you have to take the right action to acquire competence and evaluate effectiveness. So you just have to determine what kind of training or education you have to provide your employees. And then the paragraph 7.d, which I highlighted in red, because it says is you have to retain appropriate documented information as evidence of competence. So in other words, whatever competence or training, education your employees acquire, that should be documented. And again, like I said, even if you're not certified, I think it's a good practice to certainly document that information. Okay, so let me go on to the next slide. And so what is really, what kind of types of training are considered to be important to enhance the competence of the employees? And again, I've listed some of them, which are kind of pretty obvious. I'm sure there are others, but certainly some of the more important ones is the training imposed by the government or regulatory authorities. Now, this, for example, and again, I'm talking since we're located in New York State. New York State requires yearly refresher training on sexual harassment, okay? And it has to be repeated yearly, and you have to be able to prove or demonstrate that you are doing it and that all the employees actually go through that training, whether it's a, you know, it's a webinar or whatever the organization decides the way to do it, you still have to maintain a record that this was completed. There could be customer required training. If you're working on a system that is owned by the customer, they may require you to take some training about their system. New employee orientation. I think that's very important because for all the new employees have to understand all of the requirements of your organization. What are they expected to do? What are they expected to comply with? And if you're not giving them a thorough orientation, then obviously they will never know. So I think employee or orientation is very important. And also the best way to do that is through some sort of video that they can actually go back and review at a later date, because sometimes on the first or second day of work, it's just too overwhelming. Then obviously training to improve your employee skills, and that obviously depends on the kind of work that you're doing, but there's always room for improvement, and again, that all has to be documented. Refresher training on QMS, Quality Management System, the company's quality policy, company policies and procedures. You know, if you expect your employees to follow those policies and procedures, then they got to be aware of what they are. Then, of course, you have external seminars, webinars. Again, that could be optional or could be mandatory. Again, it depends on your organization. But whatever the employee, what kind of training he takes, that should be recorded. Certification, that's a big deal. There are different in work requires you to be certified. So certainly as a project manager has to be certified. Then obviously you want to be able to record when he obtained the certification, and also if that has to be renewed periodically. Courses taken in a college or university, that certainly enhances your competence, and that is very important to keep a record of that. Some outside work experience, which could be maybe not specifically considered as training, but it's certainly competence. And if somebody went through a very specific kind of work experience that's beneficial to the organization, that should be noted. Last one is remedial training. Hopefully there's not too many of those, but I'm sure there will be. If employee needs to improve his or her performance, then he should take some remedial training, and that should be also recorded. So let's look at some ways to maintain training records, okay? And I thought of different ways, and there are probably other ways, but certainly you want to be able to have all the training completed by employees. So if you're gonna pick an employee of your organization, then you'll have the list of all of the training that he or she accomplished while obviously employed in your organization. So this is a way of telling, well, what specifically, let's say, additional training is missing from that employee. So that's one way of sorting that information. Another way is to list of the training required by the employment category. So when I say employment category, let's say he's a technician, and now you want to be able to see all the training that's required to be or to remain a technician in the organization, or if he's let's say a project manager, okay? So that would be a different list of the training or certification that's required. So you want to be able to see by employment category what are the trainings, and then who of the employees in that category has completed that, or possibly he or she may be missing some of the training that's required. So that's one way of looking for, let's say, holes in your training requirements. Also, you may have certain training required in each department. So again, it's the same thing, that you want to be able to make sure that whatever training is required by a particular department, that all the employees have been trained in that, and that really assures training uniformity. I think also the important thing is the list of employees that have not completed the required training. As I mentioned before, let's say this yearly refresher on sexual harassment. Well, you want to make sure that on the anniversary of the refresher training, that the employee does go through that training. Okay, so that if he is late, that information is immediately provided to the supervisor, so that the employee can be reminded to take the required training within a few days. Okay, then another thing that I'd like to point out, there's different ways of maintaining all that data that I just talked about. You have really two ways. One is a centralized versus a distributed training record storage, okay? When I say distributed, it's still all electronic, but it's now could be on different computers. It could be distributed through various departments. So it's not all integrated in one database, okay, which means centralized. So centralized would cover everybody, all the employees within the organization. So what the advantage of a centralized approach is that it provides management better visibility of the organization's training status. Okay, so you can just go to that database and find out anything that you need to know without inquiring different department or groups or whatever. Then also, if it's all centralized, it would support audits much more effectively, because now the auditor will have visibility as to all of the training records, wherever they are, whatever department, or even if it's multiple locations, he would have visibility about what is the training status. By the way, I just want to point out from my own experience when I was employed that during an audit, the auditor asked the human resource person to provide all the training records for the organization. And well, guess what? They were not centralized. They were all distributed, and some actually were stored as hard copies, and they were stored in different departments. So the HR person could not provide the auditor with all the information that he was looking for. So he was not very happy with that. He basically gave an action to fix the problem. He gave 30 days to fix the problem, or else he would pull the AS9100 certification from the organization. So obviously that's a big deal. So again, if that QDMS tool was available, you wouldn't have had that problem. All the information would have been provided immediately. And that's what I'm now saying is really the takeaway, is that the QDMS tool offers excellent capability to manage training records, so that all that information would be stored in a central database, and you would not have to worry about searching for that information. So I would like to then, and certainly Sam and Purva will go into more detail about QDMS and its capabilities, and I would like to just now pass on back to Kevin. Thank you very much.
Alex, thank you very much for informative presentation. Much appreciated. Let me take over the screen and we can continue our session. Okay, great. As Alex mentioned, now let's talk about QDMS, our quality, risk, audit, performance, and compliance management software system. We've been developing QDMS since 1998. It's a very mature system, and it has many different benefits that's offering in terms of training management and training execution management. On QDMS, you can plan your training activities. You can also perform them, you can execute them, you can document them, you can report them, all digitally and with no need of paper, basically. So it is a great way to digitize and automate your training operation. So for this, I'd like to invite, first of all, Purva Desai to our virtual stage to learn about QDMS on a high level. And then we'll continue with our senior pre-sales software engineer, Sam Watt's deeper demonstration. Purva, if you are ready, please take over the screen. Let me make sure you are the presenter so you can take over the screen. All right, I think you got it.
All right, great. Thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Alex, for your presentation. So here is the demo environment for QDMS. So it is a web-based system and can be accessed using any web browser after deploying it to your cloud or on-premise server. It is also a permission-based system, so that everyone has access to everything in the system, and you can access what you're supposed to based upon your position, profession, department, and group. So after logging into the system, you can also find things such as your pending task and requests for approval on your home page. And you can have a quick connection by opening the widgets from your home page. For example, we have our requests here. And you can also customize these widgets depending upon your need. And on our top left is the main menu of QDMS, where we have different modules. So here we have over 30 modules available. And because of this modular structure, you can pick and choose the modules that you want to deploy onto your cloud or on-premise server. So I'm going to first start off with our control document management module. So here you can upload your control documents, for instance, SOPs, specifications, procedures, policies, and so on to the system. And if there's also any version update to your control documents, you can also start a revision process in this module. And you can also manage the folder structure based on the document type, department, and location. So let's go ahead and open one of the documents. Also, QDMS has a built-in browser that enables you to view the documents. And the system also supports various document formats from Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDF, image, audio, video, and so on. So here is our document. And on our top left, we have the related information to your document. For example, the document information, which includes the document code, the name, as well as the document owner, the revision number, department, and so on. And we can also see the revision information here. And we can also see the distribution list, as well as the history of the document right here. And also in this module, we have a reporting tool available. So for example, let's view our document status report. So here you would have to put the criteria for the specific report. For example, the document type, the draft status, as well as document code here before you create the report. And if we go up here, we can also filter out the previous reports. And you're also more than welcome to export this to an Excel or a PDF file. And now I'm going to pass it over to Sam.
Hey, thank you. Okay, thank you for joining today's webinar. Thank you, Alex and Kevin, for your presentation, and thank you, Paul, for showing us how we can manage our training material by using the document management module of QDMS. And in the following, I will demonstrate you how you can manage your training records in our quality management system, QDMS, and also how you can execute, meaning perform the training within our system. So in QDMS, there is a training module which allows us to create different training plans. And as for the training plan, it's just like a goal that we want to achieve. For example, new employee training, PPE training, or even like the periodic training, like ISO training or QDMS training. Those are the goals that we want to achieve. And as for training, like in one training, maybe we have different topic or subject that we have to cover. So therefore, we have our training plan that we set up the goal and also what it is about, and also the start date and end date. After that, we will have the plan ready. And next thing is we can create different training items under this training plan, meaning the topic or the subject that we are going to cover in this training. Taking this record as an example, like PPE training. And then under this training plan, we are going to cover 3 different topics, which are how to dispose of the PPE, how to maintain the PPE, and how to use the PPE. And while you are managing or scheduling the training item under the training plan, you'll be able to define the subject, also the start date and end date, the passing score, if there's any. For example, after taking this training, we will perform a test or ask certain questions in order to evaluate if the trainee understand what we are covering or what we are sharing in the training. We can also set up the passing score and also the training time. If there's any budget, we can also manage it right here under this training item with the currency that you want to record it in the system. Just a side note here, QDMS supports multi-location and also multi-currency. So that saying in particular office, like in New York, we are going to have this training plan. And then we can record it as for dollar. And then saying we have a location in other country, saying the UK, then we can also record the currency as pound in this option, as an option. And as we're managing the training item information, of course, we have to invite the trainer to this training. Otherwise, no one will be sharing the skill set and also the knowledge with the trainee. So we can pick and choose the trainer from the QDMS user list, and it is recorded within our system, meaning you can manage all your employee information in our system. Furthermore, you can also integrate with other ERP systems for pulling the employee information from others and avoid any double entry. In another word, you will see the synchronized information, employee information in QDMS that you have recorded in other ERP systems. Once we define it, also we can pick and choose if this training will be repeated or will be scheduled periodically, like annually, semi-annually, quarterly, or monthly, so that we can define how often that we want to have this training item recurring in our organization or in this in certain departments. Any additional information, you are more than welcome to attach with this training item. For example, the training material or the agenda. Those can be attached as an attachment and also to be a reference to the trainer and also the trainee. When we schedule this training, first of all, the trainer will receive a notification in his or her QDMS account. They can find this notification on their home screen. In addition, they will receive an email as a notification or reminder in their email inbox. So this is a two-way notification feature that we have in our system in order to make sure you will not miss any important tasks by using our system, including the training scheduling. And once we have this training plan ready, we can also invite the trainee into this training plan. So we can pick and choose the trainee or invite them into this training item. So again, we pull up the user list and we can pick and choose those who should participate this training. And on the top, you can also find the search bars provided that allows you to have your quick searching. For example, we want to have everyone in the sales department to join this training. Then we can make our searching and select all of them and add them into the training list. And once we save it or going back to the previous page, then all these trainees will receive a notification in their QDMS account and also in their email inbox. And as for the trainer, now he's scheduled, now a training item is scheduled. And then this training will be performed in certain location or area, like in the auditorium, in the conference room, or having an online meeting. And once the training is performed, then the trainer can come back to the system and then update the status of this training. as performed. So if the training is performed, then we can come to this page and record the attendance of the training, saying who show up in the training, and also if there's any score that we want to record and attach any like test or the scan the test paper back into the system, so that we can always keep tracking all the training record of our employee. So we can see like some of them they participate and some of them they don't. If they didn't participate or join this training, then we have to also enter the reason why they are not showing up. This is how we can manage all the training items by using QDMS for the record keeping. And in QDMS, we also have a reporting tool that allows you to create and generate different reports. For example, like we want to see the report based on the department. Like we want to see based on different departments what kind of training that we have scheduled to those departments, and we can find all of those records in a report. And you are more than welcome to export your report into Excel or PDF for sharing with any responsible parties. And there are different type of reports that you can enjoy the benefits from, like based on department, based on the employee, like our staff, and also based on the training type. Furthermore, there is the graphical report that will show all the training that we have in a calendar view. So saying starting from last year, and then we want to see what kind of training that we have scheduled. Then in this particular calendar, we can find it. Okay, what is the day that we have scheduled for this PPE training, for example, and it is still ongoing. So in QDMS, we can keep all the training records that we have in the system, and we can always pull up all the data within or by running the reports that we have. So how about executing the training, meaning performing the training? And for that, we have our QDMS extension. And in QDMS extension, we can manage the training execution, like executing the training. So how it look like? And right here, I have my application for performing the training. So for all the application in QDMS extension, there are two sides. One is the workflow and one is the form. In the form, it's for us to enter the data, meaning enter the data for the training. And for the workflow is how we want this training to be managed by using this application. Like if there is any approval flow, who we should send to for this training. So there are two sides in our application, and those are not static or constant in our system. In QDMS extension, we can always update the form layout and also the workflow. And in this example, I'm showing you right now on your screen, we can invite the trainee to this training. Saying we have our training record, our training item created in our in QDMS. And then in this QDMS extension, those trainees that we have invited will receive or will be scheduled a training in QDMS extension. So I'm going to invite one of the saying the user, and then click OK. So I'm going to invite this employee as a trainee, and then we can also pick and choose training type, like if it is for safety or for anti-sexual harassment or PPE training, all these types are configurable in QDMS and QDMS expansion. After that, we can pick and choose the training material from our control document management module, meaning we can choose the training material like a video, a PowerPoint, or even like a PDF and share this with the trainee. So the trainee has to read this document or go through this training material, and based upon the workflow, what you will see is the trainee has also to take a test in order to make sure and evaluate the training result that we trying to share with the trainee. So I'm going to pull up one of my documents that I have in the system and going to attach a MP4 file, meaning a video. And it will be attached along with this request. Furthermore, we can choose for this periodic and also set up the expiration date if there's any for this training. So saying it will be September 4th. Then we can send this out, and the trainee will receive this schedule and has to perform the training by using this application. And this is the flow history page, which is the audit trail that allows you to keep tracking and monitor the status of all the training that you have scheduled. As logging in as the admin, then I'm going to switch to the trainee account, and it is the admin privilege. This action is not available for regular user. Again, on the on the home page, then we can find the training that we have scheduled, and I can open the open this request like training schedule and put this on my screen as I'm now logging in as the trainee, and then I can read the documents like the training material. What you will see is there is a video that is playing in the built-in browser of the system. And then I can watch the video, go through it in order to make sure I got all of those like trying to share with me from this training material. And then we can take an exam. And after taking this exam, or while you're taking it, we can have a test like this as a question, and then they can select the correct answer. Furthermore, the system will do the scoring automatically by the system. So right here, I just choose the wrong answer and let's submit it. And you will see your score is now 20, and we have to take the test again. So this is a certain rule that also we can set up in our application of QDMS expansion in order to make sure, even for the test, the scoring will be done by the system automatically. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to choose the correct answer. And then I can submit my answer. And the system is now doing the scoring automatically. And what if we pass the exam or pass the test? What will happen? And what you will see is, first of all, the system will let you know your score, and also saying that you passed the test. Furthermore, a training certificate will be generated automatically in the system. So with also the expiration date. So right now you see the expiration date of this certificate, or for completing the completion of this training is up to 2022. Okay. And meaning it will be valid for a year, and for that it is configurable in our system, meaning it can be a year or 2 years or only 3 months. Then they have to take this training again. And also it shows you the score, and a certificate has just been created automatically. It will be saved as a PDF file, meaning no one can change the content of this certificate. and the name, the trainee name will be put on this certificate automatically, and also with the issue date and expiration date of this certificate. And here's another side note is for this certificate, it doesn't have to be look like this. I just put together as an example. So based on the template that you want to have for managing your certificate, you're more than welcome to upload to the system and create by automatically by using this application. And at last, we can click finish, meaning complete our training, and this record will be saved in the database of QDMS extension. So anytime we can always run a report in the QDMS extension and find all the training that we have scheduled, what is the date, and also who we assigned this training to. Those can be found in our report. So this is the report that we have, or saying a log that show all the training that we have scheduled with the training name and also the assigned date and the expiration date of this training. You're more than welcome to export this report into Excel or PDF for sharing with any responsible parties. And in QDMS extension and also QDMS, you can run both of them within the same tab or same page of your web browser, meaning they are not a separate system at all, and we can manage it in one screen, like for our record keeping and also for performing our training that we have scheduled. Meaning you will be ready and available to manage all your training records anytime and anywhere with the internet connection. It comes to the end of my demonstration. Thank you very much.
Porwa and Sam, thank you very much for your performance. Appreciate it. Let me take over the screen and then we can continue our executive webinar session. Let's go this way. Okay, there it is. Okay, great. So until now, we laid the foundation, the information about records keeping for training activities, and we also perform a demonstration for you as to how you can use QDMS for training operations, training management, training planning, as well as training plan executions in a digital environment of QDMS. I'd like to share more information about QDMS with you before we end our session. Bimser International has been developing QDMS since 1998. Bimser is an enterprise software publisher since 1998, and Bimser is an ISO 9001, ISO 27001, and ISO 15504 certified company. So in terms of quality management and compliance, we practice what we preach. We also use QDMS internally with more than 300 employees. As Bimser International, we are based in New York, and we have global presence, and we are active globally in many different parts of the world. Let's talk about QDMS a little bit. QDMS has been in the market since 1998, and we have more than 1,000 corporate clients using QDMS on a daily basis with more than 1 million professional users. So it's a mature system, it is scalable, and it's reliable. It is also certified by different ERP software systems, for example, Sage Intacct certified QDMS and listed in Sage Intacct Marketplace, as well as Acumatica ERP system also certified QDMS and listed in its marketplace, as well as seen in the slide. When we look at benefits of QDMS, well, first of all, you can digitize your quality management system to take control of your compliance operations. You can automate your quality management processes to save time and to improve business processes. You can comply federal, state, local, and quality management related requirements digitally. And as my colleagues mentioned, you can be ready for audit internal or external audit anytime, because you keep your quality management related activities and records digitally on QDMS. So you can pull it anytime, you can pull the reports, and you can show them to the auditor whenever there is a need. And you create a corporate memory with the help of QDMS. No matter who is in charge of quality management or compliance management, data, the information stays on QDMS for your review, for your updates, as well as for your sharing whenever there is a need. On QDMS, you can comply with many different quality and compliance management systems at the same time. And you can configure the system accordingly. It's a very user-friendly system. So once we train you, you can be an admin and manage the system without any IT or advanced technological support. Even though our support is 24 hours, the system is pretty straightforward. It's a web-based system, meaning you can access QDMS from anywhere, whether you are working from home, you are having a business trip, you are working from office or different plants, for example. You can access QDMS records and your quality management system from any location that you have. System works on laptops, desktops, as well as there is a native mobile application of QDMS for you to enjoy the benefits of mobile quality management operations. QDMS has advanced security features. It has a role-based system, so you set basically the privileges for every single user as to who can see and what part of the system. System comes with notifications, reminders, and escalations to make sure every single test that's been assigned in the system actually is having progress and getting done. In addition, QDMS has multi-factor authentication and encryption capabilities for advanced security precautions that you may want to consider. QDMS comes with advanced integration capabilities. What it means is QDMS can talk to other systems. It can pull and push data, so there will be no need for double entry for you. It integrates with ERP systems, CRM systems, manufacturing execution systems, as well as smart sensors to pull and push data to help you avoid double entry, and more importantly, to help you automate quality management and compliance management operations digitally. It is a vertical free system. We've been offering and selling and implementing QDMS to many different industries: automotive, aerospace, manufacturing, energy, mining, pharmaceutical, healthcare are some of them. And I listed some more of them also on this slide. As you can see, there are many different industries that we have been implementing and deploying QDMS. And these industries, companies in these industries, they have been enjoying the benefits of QDMS to manage quality management operations digitally. As I mentioned earlier, QDMS also integrates with smart sensors. One of them that we have a ready-made integration is called Halo Smart Sensor to automate and digitize your quality management operations. Smart Sensor remotely monitors air quality, temperature, humidity, and if there is anything out of range, out of your threshold, it triggers automatic quality control, automatic inspections, and maintenance orders for you to automate your operations. QDMS comes with more than 30 modules. Today we demonstrated some of them for you, but there are more than 30 modules available on the system that makes things much easier for you to manage. And my colleagues demonstrated some of these modules. If you'd like to see more, please let us know and we can schedule a special session for you and we can go deeper in certain modules that you're interested. Great. So before we end our session, Alex, do you have any final remarks you'd like to share with us?
Yes, I had to unmute myself. Sure. Yes, Kevin, certainly. Yeah, as you saw, and I want to thank both Purva and Sam for doing such a great job showing the tremendous capabilities that QDMS can offer, and this was demonstrated as far as maintaining your training records. But you know, quality management system goes way beyond just training. Okay, and there's a lot of aspects to the quality management system, and as Kevin pointed out, there's around 30 modules that are specifically dedicated to all of the requirements for maintaining quality management systems. So I think that QDMS is a wonderful tool that will make anybody's life a lot easier. So I really highly recommend it. So that's all I really have to say, Kevin. Thank you.
Alex, thank you very much. Thank you for your insightful presentation and sharing an educational presentation with us with regards to trainer records management and ISO compliance. Appreciate it. Before we end our session, I'd like to let you know that we completed this year's annual virtual conference and summit. We call this Synergize 2021 successfully. And recordings of Synergize 2021 are available on our YouTube channel of Bimser International. And you can visit our channel and you can watch recorded sessions from this virtual summit. For the next year, we are also getting ready for Synergize 2022. And next year, we'll be talking about how to automate business processes in this digital age. So please visit our Eventbrite page and register for this coming annual virtual summit and conference for next year. Our YouTube channel is very active, and we produce and publish videos on a weekly basis. These videos are about digital transformation, manufacturing 4.0, quality 4.0, automation, predictive maintenance management, and other popular subjects about digital transformation, digital innovation, and automation. So please visit our YouTube channel and subscribe so you'll be notified whenever there is a new video available on our YouTube channel. Our Eventbrite page is designed to help you learn about our coming events, webinars, conferences, and other activities. You can visit our Eventbrite page of Bimser International, and you can see what is coming and register for those activities, events that you're interested. I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for your interest. Looking forward to having you at our coming executive webinar series. Thank you and have a nice day.